Nobody's gonna know. Who's gonna know? Nobody. Other than you and me. Now, you probably watch about 20 or maybe even 50 videos about spring and summer recommendations. You guys are probably really tired of all of these spring fragrance lists, but I got another one. Be your 21st or your 51st video. Perhaps I am your first. And if so, thank you, thank you, thank you. Today, I'm going to share with you some fragrances that not too many people are talking about, and perhaps it's because they're not the most popular fragrances. I don't know why people aren't talking about them, but I think they're great for the spring. Well, we're almost into summer, so I think they're great for warm weather. Let's just leave it at that, okay? Let's get started. The first fragrance recommendation is by the House of Sillage. This is called Avatar Way of Water. This was released right before Christmas, and I thought it was an interesting release time, well, because of the movie, of course, but because of the notes in here, it's very refreshing. I really like this fragrance. My husband also really likes this fragrance, which means to me, it's a great unisex fragrance. I know my husband actually really likes this because of the presentation. Look at that bottle, guys. Look at all the details in here. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh, every time I stare at this, I could like spend about 30 minutes staring at this fragrance. But you know, normally when we buy fragrances, we're not just buying because of the presentation. We're actually buying the fragrance because of the way it smells. I mean, partially because of the presentation, but the way it smells. Avatar Way of Water opens up with bergamot, cassis, and pear notes, followed closely by ylang ylang, tuberose, and rose. I told you guys I love staring at this bottle. I can't stop staring at it. Anyways, the notes are rounded off in the base with mossiness and earthiness with musk, moss, and amberwood. This has a woody appearance when it dries down, but the fruitiness at the top and then the florals in the middle is definitely there. It's a perfectly blended fragrance. I think they really did a really good job. Well, I double really, didn't I? Well, there goes the triple really. And that makes it 4. Anyways, they really did a great job with this fragrance. And this is Avatar Way of Water by the House of Sillage. Now, this fragrance is a flanker, and it was quite controversial. I think that because people were expecting it to smell a little bit like the original version. This is Valentino Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. It was released last summer because it's a fruity floral fragrance, but it's very juicy as well. Initially, when I bought Valentino Born in Roma Coral Fantasy, I was not getting the top notes as much as everyone else, or maybe people were saying they weren't getting it. I wasn't getting it either. But then as the fragrance sat down and it macerated a bit more, what I was getting is the kiwi at the top and then that orangey flavor. I actually really like this fragrance a lot. Every time I spray it, I find myself really enjoying it, especially in warmer temperatures. Now, one of the things that I actually did last year is I put this in a decant and I put it in the refrigerator. I don't know why. I was just testing it out to see if I would feel more refreshed wearing it. Actually, I did. Now, I did a decant. I didn't put the whole bottle in there. So you might want to try that as well. So let's talk about the mid notes. The reason I wanted to talk about the mid notes is because it has musk mallow in there. If you don't remember, I did a video last week talking about musk mallow, a fragrance from MITH Fragrance House, and it's out of Bangkok, Thailand. Now that fragrance, on instant impact, I loved it. And I think that note in here is what's getting me to really enjoy Valentino Born in Roma Coral Fantasy. Coral Fantasy has other mid notes of Indian jasmine and rose. And then in the base, you've got Texas cedar and I believe musk. I think that this is a great fragrance. It gives good longevity. On my skin, it does. I think that 3 to 5 hours of longevity with a fragrance, especially during the summer, is actually ideal. I don't find, at least lately, I don't find that I want a fragrance to last like all day long on me. I prefer refresh. I prefer switch a fragrance out, especially in the heat. Where I'm located, it sometimes gets into hundreds. So I prefer lighter, fresher fragrances, especially during the summer months. If you've been watching my channel or my TikTok or my Instagram, you know I love this fragrance. This is Strawberry and Cream by MITH Bangkok. This is a sweet fragrance. It's an amber vanilla fragrance, but it has strawberry in the middle. On the top, you've got almond notes on it, and I think that's what gives it a nutty, creamy vibe. Well-blended fragrance. It has a great amount of sillage, in my opinion, because I do get people telling me that they smell me when I leave a space. And that's kind of important, I guess, when you're talking about sillage. The middle also has freesia, jasmine, iris, and rose. And the mister, it is nice and light. I absolutely love spraying this bottle. I love the fragrance. I love the shape of the bottle. I love the presentation when it comes. I really enjoy this. There I go with all those reallys again. The creamy influence comes with all the musk and the tonka bean and stuff you find in the base. So this is a great fragrance, I think, for the summer. And this is Strawberry and Cream by MITH Bangkok. This is Loewe Solo Ella. I think that's the name. It's got a long name on Fragrantica, so I'm not
sure if the Solo goes before the Loewe or the Loewe goes before the Ella.
When I read the bottle, I see Loewe Solo Ella, and that's what I'm gonna call it. Now, this is a fruity fragrance, but it's very fresh. It opens with apple, pear, bitter orange, and peach. And then in the middle, you've got a host of florals. You've got heliotrope, you've got violet, you've got rose, you've got jasmine, lots of florals in the middle. And in the base, you've got your amber and your woods. Because of the way I feel when I spray this, it's very uplifting, it's vibrant. I really enjoy the way the apple and the pear pulls through at the top, and it actually stays in the dry down on my skin. It's very, very smooth and very, very soft, but projects, which is weird because I've never really had a fragrance that's soft and projects. Now, I find Ella to be very classy and very elegant and photorealistic. So when you see the notes of the apple and the pear, I find that the fragrance sticks true to those without going synthetic or sour on my skin. One of the things I really like about this is I find that it's quite an uplifting fragrance. So if you've tried it, and you think the same way I do, it's a great fragrance for the summer because of its uplifting elements, please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I sampled Poissa Berlin at Neiman Marcus. I kept going back to the counter, kept spraying it, kept sniffing it, so I knew I wanted a bottle. Based on the amount of fragrances I have in my collection, I just couldn't see myself buying a bigger bottle. Couldn't buy the 3.4, it was just gonna be too much. If you've tried this one, tell me if you think it's a good summer fragrance too, because for me, summer is fruits and blueberry is a fruit, so it's a great fragrance for the summer. It's not too sweet though. I don't know, it's sort of nostalgic. Even though we don't have blueberries in Trinidad, it's still nostalgic. So this is Poissa Berlin by Vilhelm Perfumery. So this fragrance, it just deserves an honorable mention. This is Sparkling Hibiscus, and this is by BAR. You can find this at Target, okay?
So don't ever say I don't tell y'all about cheap fragrances or inexpensive fragrances.
This has cashmere musk, hibiscus, bergamot, and champagne. Now, Sparkling Hibiscus makes a really good layering partner, especially with Good Girl Blush. That's the new Good Girl by Carolina Herrera, the pink shoe. Yeah, it works really well together with it, at least on my skin. I was just playing around one day and I decided to like layer both of them and see what I got, and I liked it. But if you have those two, give it a try and tell me what you think. Now, I will say BAR fragrances doesn't really last long on the skin, but what I found is that, I wouldn't say not last long, I think it doesn't project very far, but it does stick. It does stick, because when I sprayed those two on my skin, I woke up the next day and I still had this. I could still smell a Sparkling Hibiscus on my skin. And the reason I think it's great for the summer is because when you are going out and about, you're shopping, you're running errands and stuff like that, it's an easy fragrance to throw in your purse. It's an easy fragrance to smell great all day because it's easy to refresh and not to be too sticky. You know what I'm saying? So that's Sparkling Hibiscus by BAR. So guys, a lot of you are watching me and you're not subscribed to the channel. I don't know what that's about, but if you are watching my videos or I pop up on your feed or with a recommendation or whatever, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It really helps the algorithm push my content out. If you like the content that I'm providing to you, just leave a note and let a thumbs up and say this was good so that I'd get some feedback knowing that you like what I'm producing for you. Also, sharing the video would help. When you share, it lets other people know that I'm out here in this YouTube space, and then they'll probably look at my videos and like it and subscribe. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and please subscribe. And that would help me as well. I know I'm asking for a lot of help, but it really means a lot to me because I'm really considering shutting this down. Getting less than 200 views on a video that takes me sometimes 2-3 hours or more to produce, that's kind of hurtful. I really promise you, ain't gonna cost you nothing. Ain't nobody gonna know.
Nobody's gonna know. Who's gonna know? Nobody. Other than you and me.
So help me out if you're enjoying my content, please. In the meantime, please take care of yourself and each other, and I'll see you in the next video.